We're here at the Crater Diamond State Park in the East Drain area, and it doesn't look too crowded here until we swing around and see something's going on here. So what is your name and where are you from?
I'm Pam Frank and I'm from Superior, Nebraska.
Oh, okay. And your name, sir?
I'm Bob Shannon. I'm from Superior, Nebraska.
Okay.
I'm Dylan Simpson and I'm from Guide Rock, Nebraska.
Okay.
And I'm Mark Simpson, and I'm from Guide Rock, Nebraska.
All right.
That's my mom and family friend of many, many, many years, and
Great.
my son. And this is the trommel that I built.
Well, I would love to see this
We're
operate.
going to run this through, and we're set up. Basically, we're going to run some through this, and then I'll explain it to you. You guys will start.
So you've got a little bit of something to make the water run off.
Just in case, it's a little rainy today.
Yeah, it's pretty wet. So you dug the material near here
Yep,
at
we dug
a
it right out of
secret location.
Yeah. Right out of the East Drain.
Okay.
And anyway, these guys are going to run some through here. It's kind of noisy, but go ahead. This is the trommel that I built. It's a dual drum. It's got dual pumps on it, and it's basically one crankshaft runs it everything. No motors, no nothing. It's just,
And so we see water running, but a garden hose is not hooked up to this.
no. It pumps all the water out of the tank, through this filter, into the pumps, out the pumps, up to the spray bars,
And the pumps are operated with the same hand crank that turns the trommel.
Yep.
Neat.
There's a sprocket right here that runs it all.
And you've even got water in there. That is sharp. That is nice.
Yep. And then right down in the end of the barrel, there's a spray bar in there.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good spray bar.
We adjust those when needed to make sure that it's
Good
safe.
flow of water.
This is the tricky part when I built it, was the dual discharge. So you have anything that we want to Sarucca goes into the back discharge, which goes down to that bucket. Anything over a quarter inch goes in this bucket, which we still dry and look through. But you can see those obviously pretty well.
Absolutely. One that big.
And I have, it's all made out of aluminum and stainless steel and plastic, I guess, for the pump. About 70 gallons of water that it holds. And the jack stands that to level it.
Right.
And these arms fold up, against the side and stay against the side. So it's for our,
So you can haul all that in and out of here.
we haul it all in and store it in the cage, and then haul it out. Move some of that stuff on top, Mom, so they get into that little bucket. And then I can adjust right up here with these little rods that are right back there. I can loosen them. There's one on both sides. I can change the angle of it so it can feed through faster or slower depending on where I need it to. That's this deal right here. All of the drive, crankshaft drive, everything's all hooked up with one piece.
Right.
The base is lift that from.
I'm gonna get around and look at this from the other side.
I was going to say,
Rolling on the road.
Then we kind of take turns feeding it. It's a little bit of work to crank it, but not too bad.
Right.
It was pretty hard to turn at first when we built it, but I found ways of gearing it down and adding a pump and getting the amount of water we wanted with the amount of rotation and still making it reasonable to turn.
Right. Well, there's a good water flow coming out of the bottom of this trommel, so you've got quite a bit of water, which is going in with the spray bar.
Sure we go. Bob, take that hammer. Get the water out of there, into here. Got a little water. This bucket's been sitting overnight, so it's really packed in there.
So you dug it and then stored the material in the pen, and then this is wash day.
Yeah.
So you have a dig day and a wash day.
Yeah. So basically it. We got it there. Now, that was a 5-gallon bucket clear full. We just ran through there.
That's quick.
And it wasn't too long.
It's a lot of material.
man, we'll take that bucket, which is our
Yep, then we have the.
fine.
Well, this is everything that's
It's
between.
sized.
You know, it's anything smaller than a 1/16 of an inch or 16 mesh stainless wire that I got goes into this tub, which we got the big dump valve down there for.
Yes.
And it's all silty stuff
Right.
like that
Yes,
goes
you
down
don't-
there.
Right. Getting rid of that.
And all this goes into a bucket. Anything over the 1/4 inch goes into that bucket. And this bucket
That we
goes
just
through the
dried
Ceruka
out.
machine.
And you've got another machine over here.
Yep. This one was used to be a. It was started out as a Schwinn Aerodyne exercise bike that I have converted into this pedal-powered Sarucca machine. I call it. My mom likes to call it a Ceruka cycle.
It's easier.
But it's got a tank from a water softener salt tank, airbag for air ride off of a pickup, 55-gallon barrel pump, rotary pump. Changed the crank arm out for one of a bicycle that had a little bit longer than the exercise bike. Jack stands to level it because you kind of want it leveled where it
Yes.
comes out of here.
Yes.
This is the Ceruka Basket. It comes down in this one of the green trays. It's got a 20 mesh. It will pour over here the tailings, which then go into the screen, and the water will go through back into the tank to be recirculated. So there's no hose to it ever while we're running
Right.
it,
Right.
and no power. And then, you know, we switch this off here. This is our tailings over here, which we'll test here in a little bit after we run this 5-gallon bucket through it. Now we'll show you how that works.
So you designed this and put this all together yourself. This-
Yeah, I didn't, you know, make this. I made this, but I took I seen a design of a Savannah mineral jig that was a big air bladder thing, you know, pumping on a big tank. Same sort of this. So I was like, that looks like I can do that. So I just found the right parts to little fiberglass work, and
Good.
I do all kinds of stuff like that, fabricate stuff. So I built it and, you know, put the arm on there. Everything here I built 100% by myself.
Fantastic.
And this one's a lot of steel. It's a little heavier because it started out as a bike and I just kind of didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And this is about the only aluminum on it in the tank.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, the other tank in Trommel, it's all aluminum, and I built that. I just decided I wanted to do it one day. And,
Okay.
you know, Bill, or 3 years ago, I met a guy, 4 years ago, I met a guy here, Dave McBrayer, and we got to talking, and he always wanted to build one, so we talked throughout that next year, and we both built one, and he built his and brought it here, and I think he's going to be here tomorrow. And I'll help him, and he helps me, and I've got a lot of useful information from him about diamonds, because when I started coming here 5 years ago, I knew nothing.
Uh-huh.
The second
a
year
long
we
way.
came here for a week, we found a 3-pointer after we went home in our stuff we took home, and then I built this, and we came and found 7 diamonds the third year we were here.
Fantastic.
In just a matter of a couple of days, and only about 20 buckets worth of dirt out of the east drain. So, which
Good.
I guess we'll see how much we get out of this one. We won't know till tomorrow what we get for actual diamonds out of it, but you
Yeah.
get to see the center basically out of.
Great.
With probably 30 buckets worth, 25, 30 bucks worth out of the east drain.
Fantastic.
Run through the trommel, gave us about 13 buckets of washed gravel. And then we run most of that through here. We're going to run one more through it. And then we'll check it and see what's in there. So you can figure it out.
Okay.
So, you guys ready? Yep. All right. You got a pedal plugged. So, plugged up.
So here you're recirculating the water.
Well, we got, yeah. And we got a valve down here to keep silt from building up in the bottom of the airbag.
Yeah.
And like right now, it seems like it's plugged up. I try to get it flowing so we don't mess up the video deal.
Yeah.
Is it going all right, Dylan? Yeah. All right. Well, it's probably going to pile up in there. But if it does, we'll deal with it at the time. Yeah, get some pressure on it. It might push it through. Every once in a while, I got to add a little water to it to help it feed. I need a little hose up there to help wash it down.
So this is stationary, but it pulses up and down and makes the heavies drop, and the light material is going over the top and sliding out to tail.
Yep. And are we messed up on the feed there or what? Right, because we left it sitting here for a while we were running that
pumping
through.
over there.
So well, it's acting like it wants to be a pain in the butt. There it goes. Now she's feeding through.
All right.
Now I got a big hole. Yeah, usually when we start running it, we got to run it pretty fast and non-stop.
Yeah.
But we wanted to stop and run a bucket through the trommel in order to get it and then make this video straight through.
Yeah.
But it's working. It's just like all the rest of the gravel here. If you let it sit in a bucket overnight, it's going to get hard packed into the bottom and the water is coming to the top. So, like this is doing again right now.
It was flowing through real smooth earlier when you ran it for a long time.
Yeah, as long as we didn't stop for more than just a matter of a minute at a time or whatever.
Right.
There wasn't a break though. We were on the trommel. So. Alright, I'm going to plug this up down here with my finger. Okay, you fill that up and see that backs it back up and then it should make it start flowing again. We need to cover part of what it used to that. It should start pushing through there.
And this is a dewatering screen. The water goes through this fine mesh, but not a lot of the silt. And that way you can reuse the water and then scrape the tailings off.
Okay, we got it flowing again.
This is Bob Horton and Marshall Reef here. They've each found a lot of diamonds.
Yeah, but we weren't allowed to have none with wheels on it. No gears, no wheels, no nothing, man. You couldn't have none of that.
Yeah, you just kind of had to do something.
Yeah.
That bike is pretty easy to pedal.
So, well, this thing, when we're really running good, we can run about 3 minutes for a 5-gallon bucket of wash gravel.
Wow.
As long as we don't have hiccups like that.
Yeah.
It up a little bit.
Yeah, and earlier when you were running, you didn't have those hiccups. So.
Correct. Yeah, everything was going good then,
Yeah.
and then my mom wasn't completely washing. See there?
Yeah.
A little bit bigger rock than should be in there.
Right.
Because our bucket was full over on the trolley.
Oh, yeah.
I blame the mom for that.
Right. Got to have somebody to blame.
She's not standing right here listening to me, so I can blame her for it.
Yeah, you can say.
Blame the person
She's
who can't hear
distracted.
you.
Yeah. So the light material water falls out of there, and the heavy materials drop to the bottom and concentrate. That's the theory. Does it work in reality?
Yep. Yep, for yours.
We'll see.
I usually do this just to make sure there's nothing stuck on the sides.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little bit of silt because of the way the screen is in that deal. It kind of likes to stick to the sides.
Yeah.
But I just make sure it's not stuck on there. Because then when you flip it over, it kind of makes it break loose on the corners.
Right.
So let's make sure it ain't sticking in there. Right there, see we're out of feed material. This is stop flowing gravel. Just leave that there, Bob. Leave it. See now, I didn't knock anything out of there with my hand by doing that. So only when I grab the Sarucca. So now, what we do basically is
all the kimberlite,
we unhook
the light stuff.
the water line here.
We're going to show
unhook these
Glenn
two
how
deals.
much is left in that pile. So you can see.
Now this piece here has
Yeah, that's the lamp run.
this is just to make sure that the feed gets down into the, into the bottom.
Yeah.
Bottom portion. It's still about, it feeds about, I don't know, right here. Just a couple inches off the bottom. You see, that's just a straight through
Oh yeah.
feed deal. It's got a T.
Yeah.
Water comes in here. It kind of bounces
I
it down.
see.
So it's all homemade. Now we got this, and what I usually do is have this open, but since that's kind of plugged up, just have to pick it up off.
Oh
there.
yeah.
And you see that whole thing, is full
One giant deep
of stuff.
Sarucca.
Yeah, it holds probably 3 or 4 gallons of it in there. And then we're gonna take it, set it over here, and then maybe pull this top out of it, because as that bounces up and down, there's not going to be much. I pull it over and looking at the
Yeah. It all looks like light material to me. So your heavies have fallen even down deeper.
right there, you're getting down to where there's
Oh yeah, he takes it down.
Yeah.
don't see any white in there at all. So then we get down to about like that, and then I usually have aluminum plate that I stick on there and flip it over. But we left it back at our place that we stay this morning because we didn't weren't prepared. So then, because it's so heavy, this is how we flip it over. And then there's all
Oh,
the stuff
yeah.
on the bottom.
Yeah.
And there's still some stuff in there which I can
Right.
touch up with a Sarucca.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's a lot of jaspers in there.
Yeah. Your heavies went to the bottom.
Yep.
Now I'd love for you to point out a diamond, but
I would
see it
love
right
to
now.
too.
But there's blue barite in there, and then some white barite. Yep, all your heavies made it to the bottom of that deal. Great.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then we also got, where's the Sarucca at? We can take this and we can scoop up, the last of our tailings that come off just to double check.
It's real tall.
Check to make sure you aren't losing any heavies. Making sure
I mean, you don't want to just
all
check
that drops to the
how much
bottom.
you're getting
Right.
out of
It
there.
goes out the middle.
Because you also want to know
boom, boom,
Make
boom.
sure
how
you're
much is
not
going out there,
losing
how
anything.
much you're losing out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't got this full of water yet,
But the fastest damn thing I ever seen.
so that might take a minute.
But yeah, that's
But-
pretty nifty.
Because we were
I
running
love
before
seeing
we.
inventions, man.
A lot of times when we're running
I've seen
just
like
this,
a billion and one damn
because we just
different
fill this
inventions.
full with the bucket, that way it's faster to scoop it into there.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it gets packed in the bucket, so we just bust it
That
in here.
looks like a typical gold jig.
But then for
That
this deal
does.
today, we decided
And with
to
diamond mining
we were going to clean this out
exactly the same
beforehand
way
before we did that last bucket
as,
and fill it with water. But
gold mining.
we didn't
Except for you're not
we
dealing
had
with
somebody
14
didn't-
on the
get the water filled in there.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm not going to name any names. Me, how did you get any water in there?
I don't know that was my job.
Calling that green all green stuff.
All I know is I pulled the lid off over the one done. I was like, yep, I didn't get that done. Plus, we're actually kind of hurrying because
We're gonna run out of
12
time.
and we got to pack all this stuff away, wash
Yeah,
it
it was
up.
a 3:45, and they want you out of here at 4, and you got all this to pack up.
Well, we got cages. We can throw everything in the cage.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they
Come back in the
every time you go to
morning.
stick a
Right.
shovel around, you gotta
But
walk
even
up
still,
over
they
there. Yeah, and that's about you gotta do sideways so many
They
feet.
frown if we don't go out of here.
well, you got it by 4 o'clock and it's 4:10, then let us know.
Words and words.
Thanks, thank you.
We could scoop a little water out of there.
Yeah, we almost got enough water. It only takes about 3 inches or something. Just enough to cover it. You got enough to cover it.
Right. But
It
that's
took me a while. I didn't know that when I first started coming here. I was like, why does it have to be in the water? Well, then met David McBrayer. He's like, explain to me this, how specific gravity, of the material and how it's going to shrink faster. You got to,
right.
the difference about in air and then no water, the specific gravity,
Yeah.
versus your weight and stuff. And
Well, just like
It took a
when
lot
you're
more to
at
make
the
sense to
swimming pool and you're walking in the water and,
Yeah.
and how it takes a while to get down to, you know, for a foot to reach the bottom and
Right.
all when you're walking.
Yeah.
And same kind of principle.
yeah, it took me a while
feel
to
that
grasp that
buoyancy.
concept, but then yeah, I understand it now.
Well,
The same
it
with,
helps all the material, the light material, to stay suspended in the water while
yeah.
the heavy material drops
Exactly.
down. Yeah.
And then he was he had told us a lot about where to look for the gravel at, you know, where it deposits at, because we're just out there shoveling shovels of dirt, you know,
Yeah.
roots and grass and
Right. Yes.
a lot of silt, because there's a lot of silt here,
Right.
which I believe is one of the biggest hurdles that one must overcome, is the amount of silt and stuff that's here. And if you let it dry on your boots when you go home, you might as well leave it on there, because you're not getting it off. It's like concrete. Or your shovels. Take a shovel home, it's got a chunk of this mud on it, and then literally chipping it with a hammer to get it off, you know, 2 weeks later when it's hard and dried. So
Yeah.
it's
Is that about enough?
it's crazy.
Okay.
Which, when you build a machine like this, you kind of want some of that material to practice with and work
sure.
with. And when you
You
live in
gotta test
Nebraska
the
and it's
equipment.
640 miles away,
Yeah.
then you don't have that material. So we've had to take a little bit home with us. They don't want you to take the
Unwashed.
unwashed stuff home,
Yeah.
you know. So they just we just had to deal with it, and I'm not the greatest at the Sarucca deal. I
You're
understand the
doing it.
general concept of it,
You're
but
doing it right.
I guarantee you one thing: he might not have a real tight center at the bottom, but all of the heavies that would be in here will be at the bottom,
Yeah.
and hopefully there will be none.
Yeah.
Because if there is some, then that means I'm not 100% efficient on
Right.
getting it out of the...
Yeah. And you want to check your tailings to make sure the equipment's running right, so
Correct.
you're not going to miss a diamond.
Right.
Because if you dig it and carry it and wash it, you want to find it. You don't want to miss one.
Exactly. Because it only takes one little pebble out of 3 zillion
Yes.
to be that diamond. So
Right.
I need part of that thing cleaned off, like right through the handlebars are, if I can flip it there, Dylan. Now I'll just go over there and flip this over, and we'll see what it
Yeah, we compare one pie to the other pie.
move it further over. Some people can flip it forward. I cannot.
That's the way I flip it.
Just like that, backwards.
Yeah.
And there's like
Light material.
maybe I don't even know, what is that? Right there.
Yeah, you mainly have light material in there.
I got down to the jasper. There's still a little bit of jasper in there. There's a lot more right there.
Yeah. You've got your heavy stuff. And see, the jasper isn't all that dense. The lamperite, the green, is a specific gravity of 2.14. In other words, a little over 2 times heavier than the same amount of water. The jaspers are 2.65, so 2.5 times
The
denser.
jaspers are less than, just a little bit less than diamond, right?
Well, no, quite a bit,
Quite a bit
because
less?
the diamond is 3.52 in density. So 3.5 times, and the jaspers are 2.5 times as dense.
So there's
And then
a little bit of
the
gap.
barite
That bluish barite.
is 4.5, and
What's that
so
right there?
your diamonds could be under that barite.
What we do, we scoop all that and we re-Sarucca that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's all the good stuff you want to go
I
through.
just splattered mud on everybody. Get on your camera too.
That-
Is
That's
that just
the
the
fun
quartz
part.
right there, Mark?
I don't know.
It's awful shiny.
I have my
but
glasses
I can't
on.
tell. Without
But-
picking it out of
The
there.
bottom
there is
line-
some hematite right there, the little tiny black ball, right?
Yes.
That's a good indicator. I'm not sure about this right here. What is that? Looks like a little, maybe this is hematite.
But the question everybody wants answered is, have you ever found a diamond here?
Oh yeah. Oh, here? As in not, as in the gravel I took home? Does
Well,
it find it
no,
here?
no, no, no. I mean, gravel at the Crater of Diamonds.
We've never found one while we're here. It's always in stuff we take home. But
Right.
it's definitely, yeah, we found, what is it, 8 total or 7 total? 8 total.
Okay.
We have one.
Congratulations.
We have one that we found just the other day out of some material from last year. that we were just now getting around to go through, and we still haven't gone through it all. And according to my scale, it's a 33 point, but it's one of those, you know, usually I can tell right away if it is or isn't. This one is just real iffy, so I'm going to have a check to see. So I guess if you see it on the board, a 33 point one, that's me.
All right, neat, neat.
And that's actually from last year. But
well, thank you so much for showing me your operation.
Yep,
Well, it's quite the process.
Yeah.
But if we do it right, we can keep an even flow, and then we can get it through.
Well, I like the way it looks, and it works. You're finding diamonds, so well, I'm glad for you. It's nice to work together as a team.
Yeah.
Yep, it works.
Good deal.
I found a little
like
1
them
point. That was and the highest was what, 20 until this 33 possibly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, you're not missing any of the diamonds if you can find a 1-pointer.
Oh yeah, we were just. I was just going through with my flashlight after we dried it. Some that we brought back, and it just stood out at me, and I'm like, oh, this is probably a piece of glass. Mark gave it to him. He put it under his magpie. He goes, no, Mom, I think that's a diamond. And it looked like a little piece of rice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
2 little triangles like cooked together.
Cool.
Yeah.
Neat.
So,
And that's the thing too,
That's
once I've had other people show us some in a vial, you know, it's like, okay, I kind of see what you're saying with the way they shine and stuff, and you can go look at them in a store or something like that, and you don't really get it until you see one. When you actually find your first one,
yes.
then they jump out at you and you know what you're looking at.
Right.
So my advice to anybody would be to just, like, when I'm showing somebody, or even for myself sometimes, I take one that I've already found, and I'm got a tray of, you know, I use a flat black tray that I dump my gravel on just real lightly. And if I will put a diamond out there, just turn around, put it on there without watching it, look back and point a flashlight at it, and bam, you know right where it's at. I mean, it just jumps right out at you.
Yes.
So then you know, and then you're right back on to finding them. So
Right.
you got to find that first one first, though.
Sure.
Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you very much for showing me your equipment. I'm really impressed. I like your setup.
Yep.
Well, I'll be finding many more diamonds.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.